Good evening and welcome to African Voices platform. My name is Chiwe. This is the month of Africa's celebration. So this is Africa Month, and we're heading towards Africa Day on the 25th of May. I'm really delighted to be hosting Utopia Theatre, who are going to be hosting a magnificent event on the 25th of May at their premises, and also one of the artists who you're probably familiar with that's going to be speaking to us today. So without further ado, good evening, Kossim, and good evening, Danae.
Hi, Chie.
Thank you so much for joining us. Kossim, just tell me a little bit about you and your role at Utopia Theatre, because you're bringing together this magnificent program for Saturday.
Oh, thank you. Hi everyone. I'm Kossim. I am an all-around creative. I'm an actor, performer, writer, and I am assisting Utopia Theater on this event and on a few upcoming events. And yeah, I'm really excited to kind of bring in all kinds of things, performances, food, music, dances, and to bring flavor of Africa to Sheffield.
Exciting, very exciting. Danae, welcome to African Voices platform again. We just love hosting you.
Hi, no, thank you for having me. So my name's Danae Wellington. I'm the Sheffield Poet Laureate. I'm a writer, a facilitator, youth worker, cultural producer, and I'm one of the poets that's going to be performing at Africa Day on Saturday.
Wonderful. Let's get straight into it. Africa Day, Kossim. I'm going to try and pronounce Kossim correctly. So if you're out there knowing how to pronounce it, don't come for me. Kossim. What exactly is Africa Day, and what was it important for Utopia Theatre to host it?
Well, it's a day to celebrate African culture around the world and to remember that we have so much to offer, even though I don't think a day is sufficient, but
Mhm.
we'll do it a day. And as someone who's always been, I'm African, but also throughout my experience, even when I was in America, I was always involved with African celebration and trying to bring African culture to the forefront, even when I was in school. So I thought that yes, I want to be involved and I want to try and bring in um, different aspects and things to kind of get people to know about our culture and the diversity of it, the vibrancy of it, the beauty of it, and get people moving, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the vibrancy of it. And it's not lost on me, Danae, that you were recently in Jamaica, which excited me, just seeing you document that process and just that extension of what our Africanness means, just seeing it through your lens. What was that experience like, and how does this day resonate with you?
To be honest, that experience was just it's honestly it was incredible. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out then. I hadn't been back home for 20 years, and I think going back home felt very much like this revolution. And obviously that reconnection with my roots again. One of the things that I did was I went to go see some of the Maroon tribes, and they actually retain a lot of the kind of West African practices and traditions. So it was really nice to kind of learn about some of the, the cultural practices and traditions that was brought over from certain parts of West Africa, like Ghana, from Nigeria. So it's really exciting for me to be involved, with Africa Day. And it feels kind of like a coming back to the roots that I didn't quite know, but as a daughter of the diaspora, yeah, it's really exciting for me.
Yeah, it was powerful. I saw your documenting, and I've also seen your work, listened to your work, sat in places with you where I've just felt that energy come through, very vibrant. You're going to read a poem for us. I mean, you're the poet laureate, so we can't let you go. But before you do that, let's ask Kossim about the day, the 20. So, what's the structure of the day on the 25th of May at Utopia Theatre?
So it's going to be from 12 to 6, and people are welcome to come in and go as they please. There's going to be a list. There's going to be a bunch of different activities happening, some games, and there's going to be some food, music, and some performances. So we'll have some poems, we'll have some singing, some dancing, some drumming, and a live band to kind of end the whole event. So whether you come in at 12 or at 3 or at 6, there's going to be something to enjoy. But maybe you don't want to come in at 6 because there won't be any food left.
You want to come in before then so you can experience everything. And then,
Yes.
so we've got, Chum, to walk me through the arts. Apart from our amazing Danae here, who else do we have?
So we're going to have Gidi Adeyemi, who is a professional drummer, and he's going to be singing and telling folk tales. So that's how we're going to start the event. Then we're going to have a contemporary African dancer called Olu Busayo. He's coming from Paris, and he's going
Ooh.
to be, yes, do some spiritual slash contemporary dance inspired by his Nigerian culture. Then we'll have our lovely poet Laureate, and she's going to be performing alongside Sile Sibanda.
Yep.
Yes. And then after that, we have Guy Kelton Jones and the Gorgeous Black, which is an orchestra of Black performers. So it's going to be him as a singer and poet, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's a four-piece band. So there's going to be a cello, bass,
Oh,
a
wow.
drummer. Yeah. So and they do. I mean, what they do is extraordinary. I think people are gonna love it. It's performance, it's dance, and it's all of it together. I think you're gonna have a good time.
It sounds like we're going to have a good time, and I think for Sheffield, it's nice that we often, because we sort of have a community of artists that are Sheffield based or within the region of South Yorkshire. It feels like we're getting a mix of just not the local artists of African heritage, but you're bringing in quite an interesting lineup from everywhere. Paris.
Yeah, and I think it's important to do that because again, part of it is Africa Day, but so much of Africa now is kind of all over the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of gone all over the world, and so it's kind of good to bring all these different perspectives, even in the arts, even in performances, and get everyone to kind of experience something different, and to have them also get introduced to the Sheffield community and for possible collaboration in the future. I'm all about collaborating. I'm all about bringing people together
Mm-hmm.
and experiencing what we have to offer. So
That's
yeah.
great. So whilst Danae is reading us a poem in a bit, I would like you to start thinking about how people can access the tickets, whether there's any pricing, etc. But for now, Danae, empower us with your spoken word.
Oh, okay.
What do you have for us, and what's the inspiration behind it?
So this poem is called An Ode to Blackbirds That Keep on Dreaming. And I just thought about what it meant to not have to think about the oppression, to not have to think about the hardships that we're having to navigate in daily life, but just to frolic and enjoy life, to enjoy your stories and enjoy your Blackness and ourselves. So yeah, an ode to blackbirds that keep on dreaming.
Please take it away. Yeah.
In this house, we frolic in an empty garden. The only time we look over our shoulders is to check if the sun has kept its smile for us. Our feet would greet water, paddle it back and forth, calling it to greet us back. It would tell us stories of the Ibo and Ashanti, show us Nzinga and Akua, Kofi and Kwashi. They would tell us of their children, Nana and Amina, and weave our myths in a garland of hibiscus flowers. There would be no one to smite us or damn us to hell, and our names would not be forgotten or left to rot in the carcass of colonial history. They would live on the island of our bodies and summon the native tongue from its hiding place. In this house, our people would be angels, blackbirds in flight, our sing-song voice a hymn for the living, and our stories a praise song for the departed. Thank you.
Awesome. Your reaction. The poet laureate of Sheffield has graced your presence.
I was mad that she stopped. I was like, I was just getting warmed up.
But you got more
Uh,
coming with me, Sile, and all the wonderful performers that you've named coming up on Saturday. So people got to make sure they come to hear more.
Of course. I mean, you have to give us a taste. We can't just have the whole meal right now, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, we can't have the whole meal. But you invoked Zinga.
Mhm.
Who else did you invoke there? Like just amazing.
Yeah.
Nana.
Washi, yeah.
Ashi, that's really brilliant, Danae. Thank you so much. And that's the energy with which we should be coming to this. You've got us, haven't you, Danae?
Absolutely. We got you. We got you.
And kind of
Well,
evoking different parts of Africa. And that was, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, and I just kind of just listening to your voice as well and just going places with it. You should just have a little podcast maybe and we just listen to your poetry.
And so we're gonna have to feature you on the podcast, Kossim. And you
I mean,
poetry, yeah. Come on.
No, I'm unworthy. You too, you're great creative. So I just have to watch you and listen to you. You see, I'm unworthy. Oh,
oh no.
Oh, I don't know about that now. Come on, sis.
yeah.
What
Oh,
she's trying to say is that she doesn't have to say anything because she is a piece of art. You know what
oh,
Okay. All right. Come
MVP.
on.
AVP, African Voices Platform, pay Kossim some money here.
saying?
Yeah. Kossim, I just
Yes.
wondered. So, I mean, this is you do quite a lot of work, like you're multi arts, from what I've gathered. Um, Danae's talent, I find, is a bit similar, akin to the you've introduced us. Is it Guy Kelton?
Guy Kelton Jones.
I
Yes.
was wowed, so I decided to look up Guy after you. What's Guy really like?
Guy is, to be honest, and I've been around a lot of performers, you know, in America, here, in parts of Africa, but Guy is art.
Yeah.
Honestly, he music, singing, poetry just oozes out of him, and he doesn't apologize for it. He's eccentric, unique, his perspective. He is art, and I think you'll see it. Even just the way he hears music, the way he doesn't like rehearsing. He conducts with them at that moment. He's just art. I think it's kind of hard to really describe it, but his voice, his talent, it's incredible. I went to see. We were actually in a show together, and he played James Brown. So that just gives you an idea of how much of an incredible performer he is, because he brought James Brown to the audience
You
every
bring
single
James
night.
Brown, then we just bow before you. Like
Exactly,
we
it's
just
just
bow.
incredible. Yeah, and his poetry kind of mixes uh everything, his spiritual upbringing, his Christian upbringing,
Mhm.
his perspective on blackness, on everything that's happening around the world, and with humor and and he goes for it as well. He doesn't shy away from things that might be a bit uncomfortable, but always trying to make it fun. Yeah, he is. He's excellent.
I read when I was reading about him this morning, I read too about the generational talent. So his great grandmother, his grandmother, and then him. Or is there someone else in between? But that it sounds like they've all been doing this.
Yeah, poetry. He comes from a long line of poets, so it's really. I mean, you'll hear it. It's kind of hard to
Oh,
describe.
hear
I
it.
don't want to,
You've got to come. You've got to
but
come.
you've got to come because I mean, just I know there's going to be amazing people, but
Mhm.
the way they're gonna close it's gonna be fantastic with his poetry. The words just stay with you, and yeah, I think people are going to have a great time. I thought when I heard about we were doing the event, I said we have to have him.
That
We
would be
have
way.
to have him. Yeah.
So Dana,
So it's
you've
gonna be
you've performed at the Utopia Theatre venue. This has been such a blessing for the African community. I think it's something that we've been wanting to. Tell me about the vibe you get as a performer in that space, the where Kossim is at right now as an artist.
To be honest, I think the first thing I feel is grounding and that being at home. For me, there's not a lot of places that kind of hold that energy. As soon as you go in, you're greeted with this smile from the team, and already you feel that ease. I spoke about when I got onto the plane going to Jamaica, and everything just kind of dropped from my shoulders going back home, and that's what I feel walking into Utopia. So I know being surrounded by our people and that celebration of the richness and the vibrancy and the culture and the roots, will ground us even more, but give us something that will sustain us. So not just in that room, but when we step outside of that space, that celebration, that love that we'll feel, I know that that will, carry us through the week. And for whatever places we need to walk into, I know that that energy is going to continue to carry and sustain us.
Tell us, Kossim, how do people come and experience this? What do they do?
Yes, so you go on the website, you go on Utopia Theatre, that's co.uk/event/Africa Day. And it is a whole free 99. Free as in free. It's actually free. So you just come in and just have a good time and commune with us. Share a bit of yourself, and we'll share a whole lot of ourselves, and you're going to have a good time. And you're going to meet a bunch of different artists and some of our members who are part of our community ensemble, and also um, members of the youth academy, because we do quite a bit of things here at Utopia. So we look forward to seeing you there.
It
So
sounds good. Mhm.
are we going to get some of the youth performing for us as well on the day? Are we going to see some of the youth performers?
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, okay. All right. I like surprises.
It feels like a jam-packed day of games, food, artists, performance, and it's all free. You just have to register. Again, I'll just repeat the website as Kossim said. It's utopiatheatre.co.uk/events and aim for Africa Day. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. Well, thank you so much to both of you for joining us. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday, the 25th of May at Utopia Theatre.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We'll see you there.